So remember this. When your feet slip, you can restore your balance. When your tongue slips, you cannot recover your words. Act accordingly. Says the man whose wiener slipped.
Yeah, when your
I'm sorry,
when
but
your
that-
wiener is slipping into all sorts of people. You know, is
Tell
that
me.
we love a good publationship
Yes.
on the Colleen and Bradley show. Quickly.
What is a publationship?
Yeah.
That would be a relationship for the purposes of publicity.
Indeed. Now, this is one that we've not ascribed a name to heretofore, I don't think. When I talk about Tristan Thompson
Nope.
and Khloé Kardashian,
We'll try that again.
I actually meant Khloé Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. I don't know that we've given them a nickname before for their publicationship, but it really is.
No, I think we've ceased to recognize Kardashian relationships as publicationships.
Thank you.
Which they absolutely are.
They always are. It's just, it goes without saying that
Right.
anything a Kardashian does is lies. And that extends, of course, to their relationships. Well, to this end, I did think through a nickname for them.
Thank you for doing that work.
There are no good options, really.
Okay.
Cliston is what I came up with. Cliston. It's
as meh as their relationship.
Yeah. Well, there's a story. There is something going on with these two. And they would have you believe back and forth, okay, here's the thing. They would have you believe they're back together. But I know you have got a lot of questions because you're like, were they ever together? Were they ever apart?
Mm-hmm.
When did they leave? Catch me up. So let's go all the way back briefly.
Okay.
To just remind people that after Lamar Odom, Khloé Kardashian found herself with Tristan Thompson.
Yes.
And then they had a child together.
Yep.
True.
They have True.
Yeah.
Which was...
True is the name of the child.
Which was interesting because right around the time that True was being born...
False was happening.
Exactly. There was not a lot of truth being, lobbed betwixt the two of them because Tristan Thompson was literally doing it with somebody else.
Yeah. So from the very start of this publicationship, he seemed like a cheater. The storyline was poor Khloé's getting cheated on. Khloé was defiant. Khloé was defiant in the face of the criticism. Khloé, your man cheated on you in a very public way. That's not going to end well. I get that you just had a child, and so you might be prone to thinking second chances are in order.
Right. She was trying to save face.
Exactly. That didn't go well. Because again, drama.
Yeah.
And Tristan allegedly, supposedly, there was that lap sitting and lap crossing.
Yeah, with Kylie's best friend. Who is now dating...
Why can't we remember her name?
Jordan Woods. Who's now dating Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes.
So she spends some time here.
Even get me started.
Sorry, Jordan.
Don't even get me started. So anyway, the moral of the story being, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, we can't get fooled again. So Khloé looks like, okay. So then they got back together.
Which was ill-advised.
Which, again, this is now for the second time. Again, is so obvious, right?
So obvious.
But then at a certain point, you have to begin to ask yourself, all right, wait a minute. She knows what's going on, and they're just playing us to pay attention because they get a reaction out of us every time. And the one thing I do know about a Kardashian is they love a good public reaction. So when poor Khloé can trot out her clapbacks and try to, yell at the world for treating her unfairly, I say eyeballs on stuff. Whether it's
that is catchy.
eyeballs on stuff, which means either on your reality show or whatever. In this case, hint, hint, I think this is why we're talking about this again. Whatever reality series is now coming up after Keeping Up with the Kardashians is wrapped, because they're now taking their show to Hulu. So all of that is to say, we now find ourselves with Khloé and Tristan up to this point had been splitzo.
Yep.
For the second time?
1,
Splits 2, 3.
2, 3.
But
3? 3. Whatever. They keep splitting.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God. It did it again.
What? Whoa, what? Oops, it did it again?
Oops, it did it again. Okay. Oh my God. I love these people. So I brought you this story from the Daily Mail, which said that Khloé and Tristan are getting back together. Please read the headline from the Daily Mail article that I linked to in the story.
I'm going to need you to do that because of technological difficulties on my end.
Here's the headline. Khloé Kardashian not getting back with serial cheater Tristan Thompson for now. As sources say, they have a healthy co-parenting relationship. Oh my God. This story is literally changing as we speak because yesterday when I put this story on our show grid, those two fools were getting back together. And I was like, here we go again with an opportunity to have a conversation on the next season of Keeping Up with these yahoos. And here they are lying to our face. And to that end, it is all predictable. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the other story that I brought to you was all about Kim Kardashian supporting Tristan Thompson in the comments of his Instagram. So I know I got to untangle this really quickly, and then I want to hear what you have to say about all this. But trust me, we're having to change on the fly because I literally was like, this article from the Daily Mail says that they're getting back together, which totally makes sense. Or excuse me, they're totally not back together. But now that they are, makes sense based on the first story that I brought to you about Kim being in the comments.
And what's interesting is when we get to the story I'm bringing, I think it is a response to everything you just said. But go on. I know. Are you sweating a little bit?
So, yeah, because I'm trying to keep everything straight.
Well, it's a moving target.
Because literally the story yesterday, you guys, was that Khloé fell in love with him all over again. And that's why they're getting back together. And today they're not getting back together, but they're co-parenting.
And let's just talk about the fact that the reason why, you'd say, why couldn't you keep up with the stories? Well, it's because the Daily Mail changes the story.
Literally changed the story.
Like the story that we sourced changed.
Yes. That's like you go to the library and while you go to lunch and you come back to the book.
And it's a whole different book.
Somebody rewrote the book. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Anyway, really quickly, the story from, and then you can add on to that story. There was this whole story about Kim Kardashian showing up in the comments. Now, Tristan's Instagram post said, some people will judge you for changing. Some people will celebrate you for growing. Choose your circle wisely. And of course, Kim shows up in the comments to show her support for Tristan. Now, so then I thought, add that to this story about them getting back together. It is clear that this is all going to be a conversation on the current season of Blah Bitty Blah Show, which has yet to be revealed. But wait, there's more. Because now they're not getting back together, and I don't know why.
Well, here's what's interesting. His being Tristan Thompson's most recent tweet is the following. And this is, by the way, fully directed at us. We will take it. Okay. Gossipers are worse than thieves because they attempt to steal another person's dignity, honor, credibility, and reputation, which are difficult to restore. Methinks he wrote that in response to the gossip articles that said that they were back together, etc.
See, this is why.
So remember this. There's more. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So remember this. When your feet slip, you can restore your balance. When your tongue slips, you cannot recover your words. Act accordingly. Says the man whose wiener slipped.
Yeah, when
I'm sorry,
when
but
your wiener is slipping into all sorts of people, namely not your
lady.
The I don't know what to call Khloé because allegedly they've been presenting themselves as in a relationship. They're not legally married,
but they were engaged, I think. I don't know.
So this is just, what I think this is? This is far more at the moment about Tristan not having a good media machine behind him and the Kardashians. Because I wonder then if the Kardashian, because I just feel that Mama Jenner is trying to manage all of these parts and Tristan is not playing the role that she has afforded him.
Because he doesn't have the savvy machine that they have.
I can't believe this, you guys.
I know, you're having a moment.
I'm very animated about it. No, it's just because it literally, like, get your story straight.
Yeah, and that's what's frustrating is like, we're trying to do a show here.
Yeah, come on.
Well, but
you guys figure your stuff out.
But again, it underlines exactly what we've said all along, which is that there is a story. It's like life.
Oh.
And I'm not trying to be overly facetious, but you know, like there's the story and then there's your story and then there's the other person's story and then there's the story that the audience is going to see. So like there are so many different moving parts that it does not surprise me that it changes over time. But at the end of the day, what do we know about Hollywood?
Nothing is real and everyone smokes.
And I feel like this story has not finished or been completed and we don't know currently what direction it's going in. But I guarantee you, and I'm sure you would provide the same guarantee to our listeners, there will come a time when we know fully well what actually happened in terms of the story they want us to know.
Right.
Meaning it will be revealed in an episode of their streaming service, and then they'll do that thing where they'll shame us for having gotten it wrong.
Of course.
But we're only talking about it because they want us to talk about it.
Yeah, they're the Kardashian gaslighters.
Yeah. So, wow, that was a journey. I was not expecting we were going to go on all them crazy ups and downs.
But we did.
But we did.
And we made it through.
Mm-hmm.